Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick, and welcome back to the Express tutorial. Just so you know, this is not sped, this is definitely sped up, but it's the Express, and Express. So if you miss it, you're definitely going to know, especially when I don't explain anything. Alright, so to make a blocks class, because that is what we're doing, we are going to make a new package, and we're going to call this blocks, or just block. And then inside of this, we're going to make a new Java class, and we're going to call this mod blocks. And then we are basically needed to make a block, the register block method, and the initialization, because those are the three steps. So let's start with the public static, and then we are making a block, and so we're going to say register block, and this is going to do both block and the block item. So we are going to need make a string, and that string is going to have a name, and we're going to have a block and make sure that that block is a block. And inside of here, we are going to basically say registry with a T dot register registries. It's usually the fifth one down. And then we're going to say dot item, actually, because we're going to do the item before we get to the block. And so then we are going to say a new identifier. And we're going to say hmh3.modID, and we're going to say the name. And then outside of this name, we're going to say new block item. And then it's going to have the block and the new fabric item settings. And then it should have, outside of this, we can put in the colon. And then we are going to need to make the return statement. And this is where we're going to register the block. So we're going to have registry.register registries dot block, and then from here we're going to have the new identifier, same thing, hmh3.modID name, and then on the outside of this we're going to write block, put a little semicolon to say that we finished this. So now that we have that, we are also going to need we can now make the block. So let's say public static, and then we'll say final. We're going to need to be making a block, and we're going to be calling that block, which is going to equal register block. We're going to give it a name, so we're going to call it block, and then we are going to say that it's going to have the abstract block dot settings dot, and then we're going to say it's copy. We're going to say create, and then we're going to I think I have to say new. Alright, let's zoom out here, and then we're going to put in the new name. So we're going to do a public static, and then we are making final. We are making a block. We're going to be calling it block, and we're going to say equals register block, and that is now going to have a name. And outside of that name, we are going to say that we are making a new block, and that is going to be the settings. So there is .copy, but we are going to be making .create. So then we're going to put that. That's going to finish there. Last thing that we need to do is initialize it. So we're going to say a public static void, and then we're just going to say register blocks, and then we're going to do this, and then that, and all we need to do is initialize this. So let's go and do here, and then we are going to say mod blocks dot register blocks. So now if we hit play, all of our blocks should be registered. If you want to make a new block, just Control D, and then just call this block 1, and then you can call this block 1. I just realized that I actually called that name. That is technically a mistake. You want to call this the same name as this, preferably. Now, let's see if it worked. Preparing for world creation. We're going to go into creative and create new world. and then our block should be registered. There are two commands that you can tell the difference between an item and a block, but we're just gonna do one of them. So let's just start it up by doing slash caps give at s, and then we have it's called name because we did fix it. So if we place it on the ground and then break it, place break. I'm gonna need to fix my settings because it's gonna bother me. Controls keybinds. This my left and right is switched. Don't judge me. This offhand, and then my advancements is my advancements are, so we're gonna hit done. So that is yeah, that's much more comfortable. So there we go. That is a lot more comfortable. Okay, so now we have our block. It is called name. If you refresh the game, it'll be called block, but that is our block registered. So that should be all for this Express tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them all, but that should be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,